Oh my God, I haven't, like, it's funny because I was recording in the small room for a while, and it feels much more intimate, but then the video quality comes out so much better from this room.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't recorded in here in a while, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm like in the lights.
Yeah, it does feel. It
Yeah.
does feel.
It takes a minute to like forget.
Profesh. But that's good.
You're like, I
We
went
like
from
that.
talking about breast milk to Gabby to coming to the studio. Yeah, my favorite. So I listened to your. Gabby is the AI agent I created to book and vet my podcast guests, and obviously with you, you're my neighbor and my friend, so I wanted to have you on.
Yeah.
But I had you call her, and my favorite answer was still when asked if you tried your friend's breast milk. You said, I've tried my own. And I was like, was she pregnant at that given time?
No, it's even weirder of a story, which is that I was actually on a sleeping pill. I have like trouble sleeping and is a rather potent one that changes your hormones around. So for about a year, I was lactating, even though I was not pregnant, which is the weirdest thing. So I got to experience like my breasts got really swollen, like I was pregnant, and that was confusing for a while. But after
Did you breastfeed the neighborhood children?
I breastfed my boyfriend at the time, to be honest.
Wait, what? Say more.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, I tried it. He tried it.
You know what? I believe that. I believe that. He's very he's got like a very open energy.
This was different boyfriend, pre-Chasten.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
BC.
You're like BC before Che.
Before Che.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did he drink it like out of your breast?
he would do like a little squeeze.
Oh my God. It takes a lot to like throw me off. Like I did not expect this to start this way.
Yeah, we're just diving
We're just diving right in. Okay, so he would give a little squeeze, and when this was happening, you knew it was because of the sleeping medication?
Okay, well at first I was like, okay, fuck, I'm pregnant, because what else would cause that? And then I took multiple pregnancy tests. I was not pregnant, and finally I think I might have talked to my psychiatrist, and I was like, something is off, and he was like, yeah, this is a known side effect. It affects your hormones, and so it can cause lactation, which really turned me off to the medication, because what is it doing to your body that would make your body do something so dramatic and abnormal? I don't know.
That is so, like, I've never, ever heard of sleeping medication making you seem pregnant. And the fact that you were lactating,
Yeah.
you're like, I guess I'm producing free food for my boyfriend
Yeah.
and myself. What did your own breast milk taste like?
A little sweet. In Friends, they say it tastes like cantaloupe juice or something.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Okay, so I feel like that's kind of on point. It's like a sweet, kind of not thick like a dairy milk. It's just kind of like
As I sip my matcha.
Yeah, not quite the same. That's the only thing I can describe it as. It's just kind of sweet, mild, hydrating.
And did you want to try it right away? Like, what made you want to try it?
Well, it started off, this is going to get like graphic, but like there would be like a little droplets on my nipple. And I think at one point, I just kind of went, like, I'm just curious. Like, how could you not? It's right there.
You're like, what was I supposed to do? Not try my own breast milk?
I mean, I guess there's people out there who wouldn't, but I think most people would.
Yeah,
I think most people deny it, but they would.
And I think it's like, I always say this, it's less weird than drinking cow milk.
Yeah, I mean, that's
It's your
true.
own body.
It's made for us.
Yeah.
It's literally made for humans. I sound like such a weirdo, but...
No, you don't. You don't. It's made for us.
Yeah, it's made for us. It's true. Cow milk is weird.
Cow milk is fucking weird. Oh my God. Yeah, that's amazing. So I think it's really cool that your boyfriend was also open to trying it. And they also just like, you were weirded out, but you like stayed the course. You just kept taking your sleeping medication. You're like, I need this.
At the time I did.
Why couldn't you sleep?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I've had on and off really bad insomnia, different periods throughout my life. I'm going through one right now. And it's so weird because when I'm used to sleeping normally, I I get adjusted to that, and then I'll have this bout of insomnia where I'm just wide awake. Like, I just lay there. Like, I did cocaine or something. Like, it really feels like I'm just vibrating. And
So wild.
it's so annoying.
I sleep like a dead person.
Oh, I'm so
Like,
jealous.
no, it's kind of scary. Like, when I was living in New York, and my roommate was like, I was shaking you and you wouldn't wake up. And I was sober. Like, I was just sleeping. And she's like, I feel like if there was a fire, you wouldn't wake up. You would just sleep through it. And that's how my dad sleeps too. So I think sleep is genetic.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chasten's like that. He could sleep through. I'm like, because I have insomnia, I'll be like banging around in the kitchen making myself a 1 a.m. snack. He just sleeps like a baby. He slept through fire alarms. I'm jealous. That sounds nice.
I think everything
peaceful.
has its pros and cons. Like,
Yeah.
I will say, the only times in my life where I have not been able to sleep have been periods of extreme stress over something I really couldn't control. And that's when I had a lot of empathy for people that can't sleep, because I would stay up and be like, oh my God, sleep is a luxury.
Yes.
Like, why can I not sleep? And then in the morning you feel so insane because you haven't slept. And
Yeah.
I know why parents feel insane.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've thought about, I don't know how parents do it. Maybe I'll cross that bridge if/when I become one. But the idea of dealing with a screaming baby all night, just knowing what it's like to not sleep without the screaming, I don't know how people do it.
I don't know how people do it. I think they don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, there's like some dopamine that happens when you have kids that just like floods
Ideally.
your system.
Or you're like, fuck you.
Or yeah, I mean, best case, there's just something that kicks in and you're like, this is the greatest decision of my life.
Right. That's true.
It's an honor to not sleep.
Do you want kids? I don't remember.
Yes, I do. It's never been my main goal in life to have kids,
Yeah,
if
sure.
I'm being honest. That wasn't like I wasn't born to be a mother.
What?
I know. But I do want kids.
Got it. Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to an Indian matchmaker this morning that my parents set me up with, which I was kind of curious. I'm like, you know what? If you're into it, I'm into it. I'll try it.
It's kind of amazing.
And it was kind of an interesting call. I mean, I think she did ask me about the kids thing. And then one thing she asked me that really surprised me, because I had never thought about it. She's like, okay, well, you date, all genders. And, have you frozen your eggs? I was like, yes, I have 3 years ago. And I'm going to do it again this year. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, oh, well, if you were to be with a woman, does it matter to you if she's frozen her eggs? And I was like, oh, I've just never thought about it.
Right.
I'm like, I guess it would be nice to have like a little bit more surface area. Like, oh, we got more eggs. Like, let's do this. But I thought that was such an interesting question. Like I was like, oh, so you're asking me this, and then how are you going to use that information? Are you going to be like asking women, have you frozen your eggs, and then vetting them out if they haven't? So I don't know. It kind of that question. I was surprised by this idea that a more traditional matchmaker could ask me something that even took me aback.
That's so interesting. I also wonder, for me, if I was in a same-sex relationship, I would kind of hope that they would get pregnant and I could just like
chill.
I'm
like, can I put my eggs in you?
Yeah.
I'm like seeking surrogate/wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not want to be pregnant.
That's what scares me the most about having kids.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. And I do think that there's something that kicks in that just changes your brain chemistry around it. Because when I hear people talk about giving birth specifically, it's like going to war, basically.
Yeah. It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. And then they come out of it and they're like, this is the best thing I've ever done in my
I'm
life.
like, that's insane. I feel like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I've also had people tell me it wasn't the best thing they've ever done. So,
That's true.
I don't know.
But it's like, or, I mean, like, my mom will always talk about, she had like a 36-hour labor with me. Brutal.
Oh my God, what?
Brutal.
Oh, you're such a little bitch.
Came in with a bang. And like, she always kind of says, yeah, the labor was terrible, but then I had a baby.
Then she had you. Wait, so remind me, do you have siblings?
No, it's just me.
Ooh, yeah, after 36 hours, she's like, fuck
Yeah,
this.
and she's like, never again. No, she would have. Actually, she got pregnant with twins and miscarried, so she was planning to have more kids.
Oh, you would have had 2 siblings.
Yeah, I would have gone from only to one of 3.
And they would have been younger than you?
Yeah.
Wow.
It would have been a different life.
Okay, so this is funny because you're my neighbor, but I kind of, you grew up in Iowa?
I grew up in a lot of places, but
Okay.
I was born in Iowa. Spent the majority of my adolescence in Hawaii. So from 5 to 15, I was there. And then I moved back to Iowa to go to boarding school for a little while. Then I moved back to Hawaii.
So interesting. Wait, boarding school in Iowa. Why?
So it's a transcendental meditation oriented school.
Okay.
So it's really interesting. It's a Maharishi school, and basically you meditate and do yoga as part of the curriculum. I was a really difficult teenager, and I was getting in a lot of trouble. I know.
So cute. Very chic.
And I got sent to Iowa basically to like go meditate and get your shit together. And it kind of worked. I loved yoga and meditation. Everybody was so nice and peaceful.
I'm like, why did you go to boarding school? You're like, I got sent away.
I mean, like, my mom came with me for a while. It wasn't like, but it was a little bit of that vibe. She was kind of like, I don't know what to do with you. What
would you do that was so unruly?
Oh my God. Sneak out all the fucking time.
Yeah,
like,
I did that too.
Like almost, it would be a school night, like a Tuesday. I would sneak out at 9, be out till 6.
What would you be doing?
Hanging with boys and my friends, trolling the neighborhood. I don't know. Like, not even anything that bad. Maybe.
Just, it feels like good. It feels good to be like, I'm doing this and my parents don't know. And
totally.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
Like, maybe stealing, like, a cigarette from somebody's parent and, like, walking around the street smoking it. But it was more so, like, I don't know. I was just a rebel. Like, I just did not follow any rules, any regulations. So I would say sneaking out. Lots of weed, I would say, pretty young. Which, honestly, you know, who isn't smoking weed when they're a teenager?
You're like, who wasn't smoking weed?
I'm sure lots of people.
I smoked weed before I drank, actually.
I did too.
I was like, I went to creative writing class or camp. Oh my God.
Oh my God. That sounds amazing.
At Northwestern one summer. And I swear that was like the summer I became a rebel. I was so innocent before that. It was the summer after freshman year of high school. And I like smoked weed every day. And I would just like, I don't know, like it was like the summer I had my first like little fling with a boy. And yeah.
Is that like around 15?
Yeah.
I feel like that's when like a lot of girls really go into like this kind of teenage like rebel phase.
We're like a little witchy, we're a little rebellious. Yeah, you do, because you're like getting cute and you feel like a woman, but you're like literally a child. And boys will try to get you to do things, and then you will do things. It's kind of fucked up.
It is.
But then you do. Like, yeah, the boys got me into weed. Like, and then I dated 2 drug dealers after that.
Oh, I loved a drug dealer.
Which was great.
In that era.
It was really, it was peak.
Free weed.
Yeah, it was really, I hate to admit it, but it was very fun.
Yeah. And like, as a high school boy, you can't make more money than you can like selling weed.
Like I understand it. It was very. It was like our version of a businessman.
Yeah, they're
like, oh, he can provide.
Yeah, they're providers. Like, take me to Taco Bell, give me some weed, like, drive me around your shitty car.
Literally, and I would like pretend like it was a nice car.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh my God, this Camry. Like, no, but it felt nice. It was like, you have wheels. I don't.
They'd be like, yo, can I come get you? When I was 15, I'm like, yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah. Sneak out right now.
I remember like going to this gas station with this one guy I was dating who was a drug dealer, and he was Indian. And we would literally go to gas stations to do like drug deals. And like, I would just sit there, and looking back, I'm like, I was an accomplice. Like, if the cops had come or something had happened, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what would have happened, but we would both have definitely gotten in trouble. Yeah. But I felt kind of like cool.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm part of this now.
Yeah, I'm basically like a drug dealer's sidekick. Like,
I'm like, I'm his wife.
Yeah,
you have to go through me, but you don't have to go through me because I'm scared.
No, I'm just watching.
I'm just watching.
Yeah.
So okay, my friends and I, when we were living so I grew up outside of Detroit, and this is like pre-cell phone era, really. Like, we had phones, but it was like pre-iPhone.
Oh, such a good era.
Oh, such a good time.
You could get away with so much.
I know. And one of the games we used to play was called Kidnap. And we had 2 cars. We'd have 2 cars, and it would usually be boys versus girls. And it was at nighttime always. And this is like what you do in the Midwest when you're bored. And the thing was, you would blindfold 2 people from each car, and they would go in the other team's car, and they'd be like technically kidnapped. Okay. And then you would have 5 minutes. Each car would have 5 minutes to drive the 2 kidnappees wherever they could get them, and then drop them off.
Oh my God.
And then whoever found their team members first and drove them back to like the base point that we picked would win. And it was before cell phones had GPS, and it would be like at night. And it was like, looking back, it was so dangerous. And one night, I remember like one of the cars dropped my friend and her friend off between two exits on a highway.
Oh my God.
That's insane. They pushed them out of the car and they're like, get the fuck out. And then they had to find their way. And yeah, it was literally insane. And like, and yeah, and then one night we were each strategizing in a parking lot, and the cops went to the boys' car, and they're like, they were like, what are you guys doing in this like parking lot parked in the middle, at like 11 p.m. or whatever. And really we were just playing this game, but I think they thought they were smoking weed or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, it was so hard to explain. Like we couldn't figure out if we should just tell them what we were playing or like, and they ended up not getting in trouble because they didn't have anything on them. But
Right.
I think after that we were like, we have to stop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anytime the cops get involved, but also just like, I want to backtrack and acknowledge how insane the stuff that teenagers do is.
Crazy.
And like, thank goodness that humans are meant to be resilient and that many of us still make it to adulthood.
Like how my life.
When I hear stuff like that, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like you could have gotten kidnapped. Yeah. My front lobe is fully developed now, so I think from like the parental perspective, I'm like, oh my God, that's just not safe.
No, it makes me want to vomit when I talk about it.
Yeah.
Because now I'm on the parent side.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah, just stay home. Like,
why would you get dropped off in the middle of the night? Like in a random area with no GPS and act like that's just fine. It's not fine. It's actually insane. And you don't even have GPS. So you're just like you're like looking at street signs, like trying to figure it out. Oh my God. It's so crazy. But there was something about being that age and the unknown of it that felt thrilling.
Oh yeah. You just want to push the comfort zone, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I used to love the feeling of my stomach dropping, like feeling like scared or nervous. I think that's why I loved sneaking out, because I'd be like, oh my God, am I going to get caught?
Are they sleeping?
And then I like made it back inside. I was like, I made it. Like, it just felt like I was on some secret mission or something.
Would you put like a pillow under your bed? Like, how did you pull it off?
I would do like a really artistic level pillow under the blanket, and I would climb out the window. Lock my door too. So there's like multiple layers of protection. I did get caught a couple times.
A couple times?
At least once. I remember.
What happened?
Oh my God. I went somewhere that didn't have service with my friend, so I didn't have service for several hours. There's this place called Loop Road in Hawaii. Yeah. Another really sketchy place where teenagers go to drink and probably shouldn't. And I didn't have service. When I got back to service, I had 3 voicemails. I had a little flip phone. I open it, it's like 3 new voicemails from Mom. And my heart just like...
It's probably like 4 a.m. or something.
Oh my God, it was. And the first voicemail, I hit play and I just hear, "Get home now."
That was such a good mom impression. Their voice gets so deep when they're mad.
Oh my God, it was so intense. I remember the feeling like it was yesterday. And I was like, take me home, take me home. I was probably grounded for a long time. I don't even remember the punishment. I just remember the voicemails.
What did she say when you got home?
I think, oh God, there was probably a lot of yelling. I think she called the police. I think my mom is like a mom in that way. So she was like very concerned.
Which actually makes sense.
Totally reasonable.
She's like, it's 4 a.m. Where's my 15-year-old daughter?
Yeah. And I was like with some like 20-year-old boy. Like,
I didn't even know him.
I don't. He was like in my friend's circle. Maybe he was 18. He was like probably like 18. He was the only one with a car. And there was like a bunch of us like little girly pops who were 15 who were obsessed with him. He was like 18. He had tattoos on his hands and he had a car. So he was like the end all be all for us.
He was like the bad boy.
He was the bad boy. He smoked cigarettes. He would drive us around. It was
with his like shitty Camry.
Yeah. It actually was a Camry.
I can smell it. And it was probably like not that clean.
No, it was filthy.
It was like filthy. Like there was like cigarette butts everywhere and you're like, that's so hot.
Like a McDonald's bag like shoved underneath the
so
seat.
Hot.
Oh, so hot.
Okay. My mom, I grew up in the era where like my parents paid for my cell phone when I was in like high school.
Yeah.
And the cell phone bill would come with timestamps and numbers every month.
Back in the day when
Back in the day,
cost,
like I don't know,
60 cents a text or something.
yeah, and it was like we didn't have unlimited, and
Yeah.
I would be like calling the guys I was dating or whoever in the middle of the night because I wasn't allowed to talk to boys, and so I would
Yeah.
call them in the middle of the night, and I still have these memories of like walking down the stairs, and I would see my mom like sitting at the kitchen table, and she's an accountant, and so she would have the printed out phone bill, and she would have numbers highlighted that were called more than a certain number of times, and that were called after a certain time of the night, like midnight.
She did her work.
She did. It was so official. It was like, okay, it was like sit down, and then she would,
Terrifying.
in front of me, she would call each of the numbers.
No.
And so it was so crazy because whatever, I get it. Like I don't know what I thought I was getting away with, knowing my parents were seeing the phone bill that they were paying for. But I would tell the guy I was dating or whoever it was, I would have him change his voicemail, and I would have like a girl, like his sister or whatever, record something so that when my mom would call and it would hit voicemail, it would be some girl's voice. And even then, my mom was suspicious, but it required like so many hoops and preparation and knowing when the phone bill was coming, and sometimes I would try to intercept it. Like there was so much planning required, and really, I wasn't even like doing anything. I was just talking on the phone.
Right.
But it was, oh my God, I still have these memories of like the highlighted.
Oh my God. Terrifying.
It was terrifying.
I wonder how people do that today, like teenagers and parents. Like I wonder, it's probably so easy to snoop these days. Like you just have parental controls or something. You can just like flip
But also
through.
probably easier to hide things.
But also probably easier to hide.
You get like
things.
Signal, or you get like
That's
what I've
true.
heard from parents is that it's really hard to actually control what your kids do on their phone
Right.
because there's too much stuff, and they
Yeah.
can delete things, they can hide things. Like
Right.
back then, it was like the phone bill came.
And
And-
it just came to the one mailbox.
It came to the one mailbox. Now everything is electronic, and kids are more tech savvy than their parents.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, I don't know.
That was true. I mean, I don't know if you went through this phase, but when I was like a tween and even like kind of a kid, we had like a family computer, and the type of stuff I would find on there was crazy.
Like
I
what?
I remember vividly there was this website called funnyjunk.com. And it was like the early days of memes, like before memes existed.
Okay.
But then like there was weird like the old days of the internet, there'd be like funny joke, picture of tits, somebody getting shot, funny joke. Like it was just like anything goes.
Anything goes. Yeah.
Anything goes.
There's like no filter.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be like 2 girls, 1 cup. Then
Oh my God, I forgot about Two Girls, One Cup. No.
Yeah, but in between it'd be like a funny little joke about a cartoon I like to watch or something. And so I would just kind of like
Toggle.
see all these things. Or wait, what was it called? Did you ever do the video chatting?
Chat roulette.
Omegle or chat roulette?
No, I never did it.
You never did it. That's good. That's good.
You're so naive. Did you do it? What was it like?
Oh my God. Well, I did it when I was really young, like 13, and a lot of it was just like finding other. I would do it with my friends, like a sleepover.
Okay.
We would find like other 13-year-olds and like talk to them.
That's really
and, like,
wholesome.
Some of those people I'm like still friends with on Facebook and stuff, and it was fine. But then it'd be like again, tweens, and then it'd be like an old man masturbating. It'd be like, oh, skip, and like that was like a very common thing. Is I can't remember what it's called. People who enjoy other people watching them loved that app, or it wasn't an app, loved that website. So, and there was no rules. Like
No.
it was just half porn, half young teenagers talking to each other.
Wow. Growing up, I was not somebody that watched porn. Like just didn't get, like it felt, even to this day, it feels just like not romantic or like story driven, or I don't know if that sounds weird, but you know what I
No.
mean? And so,
Oh,
but the things I do like, I really like hot sex scenes and hot making out scenes in movies. So sometimes I will like look up that, but I've just never been into porn. And so I think that's why I didn't go on some of these sites, because it felt kind of scary to me. Like I was like, why is it so, like seeing like some old guy masturbate, like that really like affected me. I was like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I was probably just like immune to it, but like no, I've never liked normal porn. I've always wished porn was more how they build it up in like a well executed movie. And with
Like the
sex
tension
scene.
and the foreplay.
Yeah,
it's like
these people are actually into each other, and like that's hot to me.
and erotic, like erotic energy is so not about like just sex. Like it's actually everything besides that.
It's like the whole process leading up to it, and that's why
It's like the
porn-
restraint. It's like the eye contact.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much there, and I feel like it's ruined generations of people
Yeah.
that they think porn is like what, like sensuality is, and I'm like, I don't even like it.
That's
And I don't.
right.
I'm like, I don't like that.
No, and also like I can just look at it and be like, that doesn't feel good. I know that doesn't feel good, and so I'm immediately turned off. I'm like, she's faking it. She's pretending.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't personally get me going. I do love like a sexualized TV show though.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, have you seen The Hunting Wives?
Oh my god, I just watched it.
Oh my god.
I lost my mind.
The sex scenes are insane.
I'm like, this is the hottest show I've ever seen.
I agree.
I like have to rewatch it.
Yeah, it's so good.
My friends and I were talking about it, and we're like, you know that scene where they're in that bar, and she does like the shot out of her tits.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, I will never recover from this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never been gayer.
Oh my god. That show is the gay person's dream. Like it
Especially because, well, how do you identify? I actually don't even know.
I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like pan, bi, whatever.
I like people for who they are.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I think for me when I watched it, I also felt like there was something really powerful about the fact that Brittany Snow, like the two women are very femme looking.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I feel like you don't see that very often
Yeah.
in shows. And the way they built it up, I thought it felt very true to how like my sexuality is. And I was like, God, this stuff can like rewire your brain. Like it's not just TV.
No.
Like the fact that you just said that, right? I just finished watching it, and I literally afterwards I was like, it's not a coincidence that I've all of a sudden started going to more like lesbian queer events and like
Totally.
tapping into that, and I'm like, oh, because I watched that and now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. And I think in my experience, and I haven't seen everything, but I haven't seen a ton of like queer oriented shows that have sex scenes like that are like so perfectly executed.
Right.
I'm sure they exist. I haven't come across that many with like that type of like chemistry where I'm just like, whoa. Yeah.
And I feel like, well, it's funny because in the pilot I wrote, there's like sex scenes between Indian women and
oh, that's awesome.
whatever. And it's funny because when you read it, it's one thing. But when I watched Hunting Wives, I was like, I bet if I showed it, that would resonate so differently. And there is something like an added layer of culture that comes with it being like an Indian woman or an Indian woman and an Orthodox Jewish woman, like where there is something about that. And so when I watched Hunting Wives, it made me think about like, oh, how visually could I show this? Because I think when it's just written, people don't realize how it's going to feel when they see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like the thing about film. It's like one thing to make it show on the page, but when you bring it to life with actual people and those like emotions are there, I think that people really get
The nervousness, the nuance, like like it is just like a different experience being with a woman, and especially when it's like your first time or your second time, and like we don't see a lot of that. We see you're either just straight and hetero or whatever, and then we see gay, and we don't see a lot of like fluidity.
Yeah.
I don't think on screen. And so I personally feel like because fluidity has not become mainstream, especially for women, the question I get a lot is like, do you prefer men or women? And I'm like, it's just not like that.
Right.
Like, and even the matchmaker asked me that this morning. Or like I was kind of going on dates with this guy that I liked, and my friend was like, oh, I'm surprised that you're going on dates with a guy. And I'm like, what? Why? I don't. It's not like that. It's not like I've picked one or the other. And I feel like I've said that so many times, but people just don't quite get it.
People really want to put things in boxes.
And like have an answer.
Yeah. Like I have mostly dated men, and the reason is more so because it's hard for me to find women or, you know, queer people who I like who also like me.
Yeah.
I've had like huge, intense crushes on women who have no interest in me at all. It rarely goes both ways. I don't know what that is. So I seem like very strongly men leaning, but I don't really feel that way.
You don't to me.
It's more okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I think it's because I'm in a similar boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But really, it's just about the person and making that line up. But people do want to put you in categories.
And then you feel like there's this sense of if I go on more dates with men, there's like bi erasure.
Right.
People are like, oh, you must just be like, you're not like really into women. I'm like, it's not like that.
Right.
It's just also the complicated thing about being a woman who's fluid. Like, we live in a society where you're still taught to center men.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's not just that you have to learn how to be gay or like how to interact with women in a sexual way. You have to also learn how not to please men.
Oh my God.
And so even lesbian women will still center men.
Yeah.
And there's so much written about that, like in like the universe,
Mm-hmm.
about like I don't even sexually like them, but I still find myself like catering to them, and I think that's fascinating. So it's hard. It's it's a really different thing than being a man and coming out as gay. It's really different.
Yeah. No, the male centering thing is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I've been talking to friends about how most of my female friends feel like they've been trained to, at the end of the day, sacrifice their needs for the comfort of men, whatever that
Totally.
means. It's just like a people pleasing thing where a man will be like, no, we're doing this. And the women will be like, oh, okay. And then they'll kind of go, well, I really wanted to stop for ice cream, but if you don't want to stop for ice cream,
It's not a battle worth fighting.
I guess we'll go home.
Yeah.
And like, that's their way of saying, no, I fucking wanted ice cream. Like, but this people pleasing thing that we've kind of been trained into, we like tamp down our needs and desires to like be more palatable.
Yeah.
And it seems like a very common thing that a lot of us are kind of breaking out of right now.
Yeah.
I know I am trying to break out of it because I have a tendency to just fawn.
Yeah. Or like just like let them lead with what they need, and then I used to try to fit into what they might need from me, and now I'm like, I actually don't want that.
Yeah.
How are you showing up? And then I think for me, one thing that has been a huge change in my life, because I've been going to therapy and really working on the people pleasing stuff, which by the way, working on people pleasing is incredibly violent, because you start to experience anger that you probably should have experienced throughout your life all at once. And it's not fun. But what I've noticed in myself is now when I'm angry at someone because they violated a boundary, or I just feel angry, I just get angry.
That's great.
It used to be like, I'll get angry 5 years later. Now it's like, I'll wait 24 hours. And then I'm just going to say it and see how they react. And I will say, one interesting thing I've observed is men actually are okay with anger. I think because men have been socialized to be okay with their own anger, they can actually kind of take it more.
Yeah.
Women can't. It's harder for women.
Yeah.
I think.
That seems
but yeah, forget even any of that. Like for me, just this idea that I'm actually getting angry for the first time and expressing it has been both really painful, but also amazing.
That's amazing.
I'm like, holy shit, I should have been doing this my whole life.
I'm so proud of you for like
Thank you.
unearthing that.
Yeah.
And that is the work. I'm actually going through a very similar thing. I'm trying to not people please. I had like a few circumstances recently where I like really sacrificed myself in a way that was so unnecessary, and I had to like take a look and be like, why?
Like
And
for what?
For what? Like I literally
Was it work related or?
No, it was like friendship related.
Got it.
I was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
allowing somebody to really take the lead on certain things that I wanted to have a say in. And I was just like fawning. I was just like, okay, whatever you want. And then being mad on the inside instead
Yeah.
of just saying like, no, I'm not okay with this.
Right.
And so ever since then,
And that comes out in other ways.
yeah, and you're just secretly pissed, which is
Yeah.
actually so much worse
Yeah.
than saying what you mean. And for me, I'm always afraid of any sort of backlash or anger, or like I'm trying to manage other people's emotions instead of just being fully upfront with what's going on for me. And so I'm really trying to do that differently.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No, but we're doing the work.
Anyway, but yeah, tell me like, well, it's funny because we're neighbors, and we've hung out, but I think the last time we hung out in our garden was the first time that I feel like I really got to know kind of like the nuances of you. And I'm trying to remember what I think we talked about, like, not that we have to talk about it now, but I think we talked about like, yeah, like assault and like, I don't know, a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
What made you want to come on today?
Partially because podcasting is something that's been calling to me for a long time. And when I found out that you were podcasting, I was like, there's no way that my neighbor is doing this too. And then you're also a writer and I'm a writer. And I was like, we need to be like working on stuff together, whether it's like side by side or face to face or whatever. Like there's just so much that aligns. So that was my first thought is I have a bit of a visibility issue that I'm trying to overcome, and like being willing to put myself out there and put my thoughts out there. So I felt like this would be really healthy for that and fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And what's been going on in your life lately? I don't know.
Yeah. What has been going on in my life?
What's going on in my life?
I'm going through a lot of like transmutation of like old emotional shit. So it hasn't been super fun lately. I think I've been on a pretty intense healing journey and just like doing the work and kind of feeling kind of like what you're saying about people pleasing, like feeling the anger, feeling the sadness. Like I've been like kind of unearthing pain from my childhood and like holding space for that. And that's just been really what my life has been about lately. I'm in the thick of it, but I feel like I'm about to enter a new really creative era.
Yes.
Where I'm like I'm doing the work right now, but I can feel myself like revving at the starting line for some new projects. So
cool.
Yeah, I'm just like prepping myself. I'm in that like cocoon phase.
Yeah.
And it has not been fun, if I'm being honest, but sometimes it's like that. Sometimes there's eras where you just got to do the work, and then there's eras where it's like, okay, I've done the work, now I can go be out in the world.
Yeah. What kinds of things do you like to write about?
I love to do a personal essay, like memoir style. I like to write about...
I do that.
Yeah, I remember that. And it's my favorite format of writing because it's digestible. You can get like
It's raw.
It's raw. You can get like a couple personal experiences out on. I love to write about mental health because that's something that I think about a lot, and just things that I've learned about mental health. I just did a piece on like personal autonomy and just kind of how important it is to be sovereign. And
I love the word sovereign, by the way, but I'll come back to that. Continue.
Yeah. Well, it's just about personal sovereignty and how important it is to be able to be in self-referral and check in with yourself and know what's right for you and what's not. And if something isn't right for you, being able to step away from that.
Well, okay, I love that. And also the context with which I fell in love with the word sovereign was my friends and I were at this lesbian sports bar a couple weeks ago watching women's tennis, and we were talking about like different energies we can sense in like gay, lesbian, bi women. And one of the girls goes, you can tell when a woman is like in her like bi or lesbian power when she walks in and she's sovereign. And I was like, I love that I can like visualize that. Yes. Like she's just unbothered by like what is happening or who's looking at her. And there's something so attractive about that.
Yeah.
So I think about that word all the time now. I'm like, goals, sovereignty, sovereign.
Yeah, I do too. That's like literally, I'm going to post it on Substack, but that's the most recent thing that I've been working on. Part of the visibility wound, I have hundreds of pieces that I've never published.
So do I. Dude, we can help each other.
Yes, please.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get over that. I have a body of work that, I don't know, I think I always just say like, oh, it needs more editing, or I don't know. I just make excuses for not putting it out because I'm nervous about it, if I'm being really honest. So
it's scary. By the way, to validate that, it is scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But it's also really important. And I think about whatever I consume, whether it be like essays that people write, podcasts, YouTube videos. What I really value most is people being very vulnerable and honest about their experience and really sharing. And you can tell when people go there. And I think in my writing, I make it very vulnerable. I dip into like the deepest parts of myself. And that's why it's so hard to share.
I do that too. And I will say, one thing I've learned is that it requires, and I'm still working on this, like some deep spiritual practice that you can use as a foundation. Because after you put stuff out, there is a feeling of like, oh my God, I've been exposed, or you just feel something. It's quite traumatizing.
Yeah.
But then it's not. Then that energy turns into something else. And so I think it's really good you're doing a lot of spiritual work, because I did not anticipate that when I started filming pilots about my life and doing personal like performances and like personal essays. I didn't think about what it would feel like after.
Yeah.
And the recovery time was really hard and long when I didn't have spiritual practice.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious, what kind of spiritual practices help you in that sort of thing?
I think for me, one, I started journaling again. I mean, I've been journaling my whole life, but I started again, and 2.5 years ago, when like really religiously, when I filmed the first version of my comedy pilot, because in it we filmed me saying I'm gay over and over and over again as the character, but that's something that actually happened when I woke up from egg freezing. And so watching myself do that and having to be in that, I felt like I was going to die afterwards. I'm like, that was not fun.
Yeah.
So journaling, and then I just started meditating. I'm reading Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural.
Oh, I've heard of it.
And so every morning I read a few pages, and then I meditate for 8 minutes. And then exercise also really helped me. But the past few months, I'm like, oh, I need more than exercise. Like there's something else. I need to just feel like energetically calm. So I'm like working, and I'm not perfect. I'm not. It's not this like fun process getting to baseline, but it's happening.
No, it's
Yeah.
not fun. I think that's the reality of it. It becomes more fun once you've actually like done it for a while and done the work. But the beginnings of spiritual practice, I feel like
They're rickety.
Kind of rickety, painful.
And then people in your life think it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Although I've always been like into weird spiritual stuff, so people shouldn't be.
I have not.
Too
So this is, for me,
surprised.
it's the last few years. So
That's amazing.
it's still like new, but I think it makes sense. It's just people, I think, don't know what to ask if they haven't met this version of me. It's just kind of like, oh, that's weird.
It's interesting how people really keep an impression of a past version of you and are like kind of shocked sometimes when there's like a new tier to it.
Yeah.
At least in my experience, because I changed so much throughout my life, and I'll see somebody and they'll be like, I didn't know you do this. I'm like, well, it's new. Like I do new things all the time. Some people are like really weird about change.
Yeah.
Which I get, but I always notice that when I go through a big transformation.
Do you feel, when you think about putting your personal stories out there, do you think it will at all influence your relationship with Jay? And yourself, I guess. Yourself, obviously, but.
I think more so, a lot of my writing has to do with experiences that I've had that I haven't necessarily shared with some of the people closest to me. Che knows everything about me, and we have a pretty open kind of relationship in that way, so I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about like my like parents and like aunts and uncles reading about like, I don't know, drugs or rape or like something.
Right.
Like
It's kind of crazy to think about.
I go into it and I'm like so much more of a refined version of myself now, but a lot of what I write about is like when I was figuring things out.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dude, I wrote a piece called All the Men I've Cheated On
Right.
the other day, and it's not so literal. I mean, it is literal, but it's also like, it's not like I slept with other people. There's nuance to it.
It's a great title.
But I wrote it, and I had a total mental breakdown after I wrote it.
Yeah.
Because it was written about a time in my life where I was still navigating and figuring things out, and I have not revisited that since it happened. And so there was a moment of like clarity and chaos and fear that came from ripping that open. And then I actually realized I was like, that piece was too far for me. I need to like set it down, and I'll come back and visit it in a little bit.
Yeah.
But so I think you're right. It's like, and it became less even about the people reading it, and it became more about almost like me reading it and being like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
No, it can be like that, especially if you leave a piece for a while, I think, and circle back. Sometimes it's like, whoa. But it's good to know thyself, like maybe that level or whatever it was, however it affected you, just being able to trust, like, okay, I'm not ready to release this right now. That's like,
I was like, I'm not ready.
That's perfect too. It's, you did something vulnerable, and it's so brave to write about stuff like that.
It was crazy.
Yeah, like I've been thinking a lot lately about times when I've probably been the crazy ex that somebody like talks about, and they're like, oh my God, she was the worst. And like, just kind of owning that, because in the moment I always feel justified in whatever like happens, but just in the past I can like reflect and be like, oh yeah, that was not the right thing to do in that scenario. So writing about that is, in a sense, taking like a lot of personal responsibility, which is just vulnerable.
It is taking personal responsibility. What's like, okay, what's a piece you're going to write or publish on your Substack next, and where can people find it?
Substack, I believe it's Tiera Ashley, T, two T's, IERA ASHLEY. And the next piece I'm going to release is going to be the sovereignty one.
I can't wait. I'll share it when I publish the episode, because I think that I do think we're living in a time where more people are looking for just guidance because everything is so crazy. So don't you feel kind of like, as spiritual people or healers, I feel like I'm being called.
Oh my God.
I feel it. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I need to like elevate and let go of debris, even if it's messy and it's accelerated, because something is shifting.
100%.
Yeah, and this is part of that. Writing is really spiritual.
It is very spiritual, and I think that a lot of people are being called right now to speak in one way or another. There's a lot of people who speak and create content and have podcasts and books and whatever, who are like pumping very negative content into the world, and I feel like people are being called to counteract that, whether that be with things that light people up, or even just things that feel very vulnerable and raw, and like, this is what I went through and I'm like right here with you. I think that that's going to be really important moving forward.
I think so. I love it. Well, thank you, Tiera.
Thank you for having me on. It was so fun.
Is there anything else? Like, you have a few minutes if you want to, anything else, like anything. I mean, this was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't have anything at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm excited that people know where to find you, and thank you for recording with me today.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
So fun.
And we'll do it again.
Absolutely.